ABC's Tom Gerald on the subject of Osama Bin Laden, which has consumed people in the intelligence community for, it seems, so long. And I come back to John Miller again because, as we've said before, you're one of the few reporters to ever have seen him in person. And we hear these assessments about the intricacy of his network and the emphasis on the fact that it's a very loose organization and may not indeed be directed on a daily basis or on a worldwide basis, but Bin Laden. That people may associate themselves with Bin Laden even without having any directives from him. And I know this is a very general layman's question. How hard do you think it's going to be to get him?
Oh, I think that's a real uphill struggle. And there's kind of three models of that. One, you do what we've already done, which is send in, I'd say we as the United States, send in 100 cruise missiles at a location where you think he is, and try and get him that way. Now, you know, there's a executive order that, you know, the United States does not engage in assassination, and they hedged the last time by saying we weren't trying to kill him, we were attacking his camp, essentially with a wink saying, and if he died in the process of
right,
that would have been fine. That didn't work. Then, of course, there is to pinpoint where he's going to be and do a surgical strike, because ever since that missile attack, he's been on the move, moving every 24 to 48 hours, never staying in the same place for longer than 2 days. The trouble is the level of intelligence they have is pretty terrific. They usually know where he is generally, but not enough for a strike like that. And certainly the ground assault idea, sending in a special forces team to go get him, even to bring him back, that requires the kind of intelligence, not just that you need to know where he is generally, but you need to know exactly where he is, and not just today, you need to know exactly where he is a week from Wednesday. And that is not the level of intelligence we have, because he operates so that he doesn't know where he's going to be a week from Wednesday.
And if the Taliban, which runs Afghanistan, this country which has been so consumed by violence for so long, continues to give him protection, as it pretty much acknowledges that it continues to do, even in the wake of this attack, is there any other country in the world in which it would be more difficult, or from which it would be more difficult to extract somebody than Afghanistan? I cannot imagine it.
We've been following this for 4 years, and the only other country, according to our information, that ever offered Bin Laden a safe haven was Iraq. And that was after the U.S. missile attack on his camps, when it looked like there might be more attacks on Afghanistan, when it looked like the pressure was to the point that they might force him out. Saddam Hussein sent an emissary in the form of a former diplomat of his to offer Bin Laden a safe haven in Iraq. Difficult for Bin Laden because he's not a big subscriber to Saddam Hussein.
He and Saddam Hussein at least have this reputation of not getting along, but ironically, Iraq is a far less secretive society in many ways than Afghanistan.
Very much so, and I think Iraq could offer Bin Laden a lot of the things he needs. They have the things that the Taliban doesn't have. They have sophisticated communications. They have a much more sophisticated military complex. But I think that, I mean, as the fundamentalist he holds himself out to and seems to be, he's much more along the Taliban mindset.
Many thanks, John Miller.